Hey there, welcome back and thanks for watching Ready Set Crypto. So let's talk about some of the coolest tech out there, the Internet of Things. IoT revolves around increased machine-to-machine communication. Built on cloud computing and networks of data gathering sensors, it's mobile, virtual, and instantaneous connections. It's going to make everything in our lives smart. Now, some may claim that these are the first steps to the machines taking over our lives as our new robot overlords, but really it's about a marriage of the digital and physical worlds in a way that's kind of hard for us to imagine. Just like it would have been hard for someone from 100 years ago to adequately imagine society today. IoT is going to pave the way for truly autonomous cars, smarter economies, entire businesses not staffed by any humans, whole industries automated and maximized for efficiency. IoT will provide the backbone for the new digital age we are just barely on the cusp of. IoT is science fiction becoming science fact. It's truly exciting. And so contextualizing IoT in the space of cryptocurrency is, quite frankly, very exciting and one of the best investments you can be making right now, because the future I just described is being built right now by the companies I'm featuring in this video. Just like how marrying the digital and physical is what gives us IoT, marrying IoT and blockchain gives us some extraordinary glimpses of the future, and that's what's featured in this video. IoT blockchain tech is a red hot space in crypto now, and in the coming years it'll be even more so because this is tech that is desperately needed, replacing older, centralized, more expensive solutions, and it's doing so leveraging cutting-edge blockchain tech that will revolutionize the industries it's implemented in. This is not a video about which one of these coins are the best. That's for you to decide and do your own research on. Instead, this is a presentation on indirect competitors targeting different sectors with different solutions to the same problem. How do we best track physical assets in a digital space using a blockchain? Now, IOTA is kind of an exception to that, and I'll explain why in a bit, but for the rest of the coins, the question is always asked, why is the blockchain necessary? Why do we need to build blockchain into the supply chain when we already have working centralized systems in place? Now, that's because all these coins realize that the advantage of using blockchain technology in the supply chain is that it provides an open, immutable, global, online ledger for all transactions, which includes a verification mechanism. If these coins were not using the blockchain, which is immutable, then their entries and readings would not be 100% trustworthy, since centralized ledgers can always be tampered with. That's how and why fraud exists in manufacturing and logistics. And that's why the blockchain is an evolution. It's impossible to manipulate the blockchain. Everything is automatic and uses smart contracts. When you marry a blockchain to the supply chain, you are guaranteed that the readings that you have before you are correct. This is why blockchain will revolutionize shipping, product quality assurance, tracking, and counterfeit protection, all of which are subsets of supply chain management. So, with that addressed, let's get into talking about the coins themselves. So first up is IOTA. IOTA contains IoT in their name, so surely enough, the focus of IOTA is the Internet of Things, and also what's known as the machine economy, which really serves as their primary focus. In time, they will also be aggressively targeting peer-to-peer microtransactions. They are building from the ground up a network based on the following tenets. Scalable. This is achieved through what's really the big deal with IOTA and why it's as big as it is. IOTA's proprietary technology, the Tangle. The Tangle is a revolutionary alternative to the blockchain, and why it's kind of in a league of its own with regard to this list. In theory, the more nodes or IoT devices on the Tangle, the faster the confirmation rates. This is diametrically opposed to the scalability of blockchain and blockchain consensus, where the more transactions on the blockchain network, the slower it is and the higher the fees. So, IOTA is an extremely interesting crypto because it is using a completely new algorithm they've developed that hopes to solve one of the biggest issues in crypto today. But not only do they have to make sure that it's scalable, they also have to make sure it's secure. IOTA's Tangle is inherently secured through decentralization, which is to be expected of any crypto, but additionally, there are no miners involved to secure the network. Instead, participation on the IOTA network is active. With each IOTA transaction, the user's device confirms 2 other transactions. In doing so, each user helps to confirm the validity of the entire network. This turns network consensus from an extrinsic activity where a few miners are paid to validate the network, leading to miner centralization, into an intrinsic activity where everyone on the network participates in securing the network and everyone is rewarded with zero fees. So what's important about having an intrinsically secured network is that you have to make sure it is lightweight. As IoT devices will need to be able to confirm transactions, the network must be lightweight enough for even the simplest IoT devices to confirm two other unconfirmed transactions. But with that addressed, that will ensure the network is economical. As IOTA will not have transaction fees, it will be ideal for microtransactions in a machine economy and peer-to-peer economy. Machines will be able to pay each other for things like electricity, server power, or storage, leading to very exciting possibilities for IoT scaling and doing things we never thought possible. On the peer-to-peer side, no fees will make IOTA ideal for everyday transactions where fees can be a limiting factor of crypto mainstream adoption. So IOTA, it's definitely one of the most innovative projects ever seen in the crypto world. It's highly technical and highly ambitious, and there's really nothing like it. As blockchain scalability becomes a dominating issue in the years ahead, investing in an alternative consensus algorithm may prove to be a wise decision. IOTA's mainnet was launched in July of last year, and for the most part has been working as planned. However, it should be absolutely noted that IOTA is not currently decentralized, instead relying on a special node called the Coordinator, whose main purpose is to protect the network until it grows strong enough to sustain against large-scale attacks. Essentially, training wheels until the tech and network are ready to be fully independent. The team behind IOTA has been growing as of late and is comprised of many experienced individuals. If everything goes well and the team is able to accomplish their plans, then the sky's the limit for IOTA. We could be on the brink of seeing superior technology to blockchain. It's really exciting stuff.
The Internet of Things is defined as the growing network of connected devices that are capable of collecting and exchanging data. This network will allow for direct integration of the physical world into the digital realm and will soon enable smart grids, virtual power plants, smart homes, intelligent transportation, and smart cities. A true machine-to-machine economy will emerge as devices are able to transact and communicate with one another. IBM predicts that the Internet of Things will be comprised of 50 billion connected devices by 2020, and Gartner estimates the economic benefit to be $2 trillion in just a few years' time. But all of these predictions are dependent upon the emergence of a transactional backbone that is secure, infinitely scalable, affordable, and lightweight enough to be integrated into sensors and actuators. This is where IOTA enters the fray. IOTA is a permissionless, open-source distributed ledger that was built from the ground up to solve these very problems. It was specifically designed to serve as the backbone for the Internet of Things. Instead of using a blockchain, IOTA created a revolutionary new protocol called the Tangle. The Tangle's unprecedented innovation makes IOTA the only infinitely scalable, quantum-proof payment and secure data transfer platform on planet Earth. With zero transaction fees, modularity, mask-authenticated messaging, and an immutable ledger all available via an extremely lightweight client, IOTA is uniquely positioned to serve as the settlement layer within the Internet of Things stack. But don't be fooled by IOTA's initial focus on the IoT. Yes, it was born out of necessity to enable the Internet of Things, but IOTA can eventually be a universal settlement solution within any domain that selects for zero transaction fees, enormous scalability, and swift transaction finality. Learn more at iota.org.
So next up is a coin I've talked a lot about, WaltonChain. And I've covered Walton in a series of videos, which you should totally check out if you're at all interested. Walton is aggressively targeting the manufacturing and logistics process in new and exciting ways. Essentially, Walton is blending RFID, radio frequency identification devices, with the blockchain in order to target multiple areas for implementation. Production. As a product is produced, an RFID tag is generated. This product will be recorded at each child node in the production process. As warehousing. So a product is stored in the warehouse after production, which is tracked by the RFID tag, such as when it checks in, where it is in the warehouse, and when it checks out. Third is logistics. Similar to warehousing, we can track the status of the product during transportation, which is very useful when multiple forms of transportation are used. Lastly, our stores. We can track product information in the store, such as consumer preferences and purchase information, which creates a nice feedback loop to the first stage of this process, production. Now, it's important to stress that a blockchain addition to the manufacturing and shipping process is a big deal because it enables a few things: authentication of asset ownership, authentication of product material traceability, streamlining of all existing supply chain ERPs into one common channel, eliminating the cross-communication barrier that currently exists within supply chain logistics, and thereby increasing efficiency, and solving the security issue, which has been a problem intrinsically tied to the use of RFID tags since their inception, that they only hold minute pieces of data and that they don't have long-term memory. Walton refers to this blend of blockchain and digitized assets as the Value Internet of Things, or VoIT, and VoIT is a big deal. The developers of Walton have suggested that the inherent problem of IoT is centralization, which means that autonomous cooperation and effective transactions cannot be effectively reached due to network complexities and trust uncertainties between centralized networks. You know, what if your Amazon Echo can't talk to your smart toaster because one's from Amazon and the other one's from Samsung, and they inherently can only interact with devices on their networks, leading to a breakdown of cooperation and networking because today's IoT devices are contained within centralized networks. Walton therefore promotes a new concept referred to as VoIT. By hosting an IoT network on the blockchain, the VoIT can provide decentralized access to the blockchain through a myriad of devices. As the blockchain is open source and every transaction is recorded in the blockchain, issues related to trust fall away, allowing for safer information trading between stakeholders and allowing interactions to happen normally not possible due to centralized networks. Walton is its own blockchain and IoT solution via proprietary RFID tech and parent-child chains. This concept creates a large focus on Walton being both an infrastructure and a solution. This is absolutely key and will be a main reason why Walton will be huge, along with their already established use cases and relationships. Walton will begin mass production of their RFID tags in 2019, and they will have a very big opportunity for disruption as the current centralized systems they're competing against have nothing close to the tech they're going to be offering and the cost savings they're enabling for their clients. Walton will be a very interesting crypto to watch over the years.
Value Internet of Things, VIoT, creates a business ecosystem integrating the real world with blockchain, ushering human beings into a reliable digital life. WaltonChain opens up the epoch of Value Internet of Things, VIoT, with a strong belief that wisdom alters label, trade, organization, and network. Acronym Walton. Invented by a brilliant scientist, Charles Walton, in the 20th century, RFID technology has been widely used around the world and has become the latest means of mobile payment. From identification to freeway billing, mobile payment, and credit card payment, RFID has been playing the critical role in a vast number of application scenarios. On November 30th, 2016, the 5th anniversary of Charles Walton's death, the project was initiated and named WaltonChain in honor of his Greek scientist and to carry forward his invention and blaze a trail to the future.
So next we have VeChain. So where Walton is a B2B manufacturing and shipping solution, VeChain is a product ID management solution with both B2B and B2C elements. Manufacturers can give their products a unique and encrypted ID that is plotted into a blockchain. You can use this ID through the app for consumers or scanners in supply chains to verify the legitimacy of a product, combating counterfeits and enabling tracking of inventory. This is also especially useful when food safety or product safety is a concern, and we'll talk more about that in a bit with WaBi. But people are willing to pay a premium for items where authenticity is desired or in some cases extremely preferable. VeChain is building a trust-free and distributed business ecosystem to enable transparent information flow, efficient collaboration, and high-speed value transferring. But VeChain is much more than anti-counterfeiting. For example, car clocking is a growing international problem. In the UK alone, 1 in 16 cars in 2016 had a discrepancy in their mileage. So VeChain believes they can end car clocking by employing blockchain technology to create a distributed digital car logbook for each vehicle. Each log is a unique digital repository that contains all maintenance information together with the odometer readings that can be accessed and updated by the manufacturer, dealers, workshops, and owners. VeChain's platform assigns a unique digital identity to each vehicle, which is stored in the blockchain. Participants are assigned private keys with data viewing and/or editing permissions, which can be interacted with via RFID tags, NFC chips, or QR codes. We can see some of their prototypes here, and I think that's very interesting that they're using multiple forms of identification technology. Using blockchain technology with these IDs, VeChain is able to create a reliable trust protocol, and car clocking is just one area where blockchain can have an impact on the car industry. They expect many other areas to benefit from the ability to store information in a tamper-proof protocol, such as crash reports, insurance claims, loan agreements, product recalls, and much more. VeChain is also looking at other luxury goods such as handbags or wine, and using the blockchain plus their ID tags to verify the authenticity of those luxury goods. So the last point I wanted to address is VeChain's partners. This is pretty impressive. And here's a selection of some of their partnerships. We have Kuna and Nagel, the largest transport and logistics company in the world with 20 billion in revenue. We have the Renault Group, a French car manufacturer who, for my US viewers, owns Nissan. We have PricewaterhouseCoopers, which have adopted VeChain for their incubation program. It's one of the big four auditors. We have DIG, China's largest wine importer, and we have DNVGL, an international accredited registrar and the world's largest classification society. This really impresses me, and I'm sure this list will continue to grow as VeChain expands their technology stack and continues to push forward with the same ambition they've clearly shown already.
大家有没有发现这个视频里的防伪场景和你们想象中的是不是有点不太一样？有没有看到用户去刮开所谓的激光防伪码，或者呢去打电话，打一个400电话说，哎，我要去鉴定一下我买的东西是不是真的还是假的？也没有看到有人拿着专业的那种扫描设备再去做鉴别，都没有。消费者只需要用一个手机，一个简单的手机。我就可以去很容易的鉴别这个信息，并且获取产品应该有的故事。那实际上所有的防伪鉴别都有2个部分所组成。第一个呢是一个难以复制的 ID， 第二个呢是根据这个 ID 所做的校验系统。所有的防伪，传统的、现在的、新型的、过去的，都是一样的。
So next we have Modum, and I'm a little proud to say that I was the first or second crypto YouTuber to discover and talk about Modum back when they were in their ICO phase. And now that they're tradable, I'm really starting to see them build a following. I think it gets mentioned on the cryptocurrency subreddit daily at this point. So to understand Modum, it's probably best to understand the specific use case they're targeting. European Union regulations that came out in 2013 required proof that all medicines are not being exposed at any point to conditions that may compromise their quality. This is medicine we're talking about. You know if it's exposed to an environment outside of its acceptable range, then it can nullify its utility or even make it harmful. Diabetics, for example, need their insulin to be refrigerated at all times, or else it might not effectively control their blood sugars. So you want to prevent something like that. You want to have definitive proof that the medicine was always kept at the correct temperatures, humidity, etc. And so that's the impetus behind this law. This is a new European Union law, but similar regulations in the US are likely to follow soon. Now, it must be understood that the way this law is written requires shipping and logistic companies to demonstrate that each and every medicine package, whether temperature sensitive or not, did not go beyond the allowed ranges. Since 2013, when the law came out, the only lawfully effective but highly inefficient solution is the use of temperature stabilized trucks and containers from third-party logistics providers. Obviously, it's going to be very expensive to transport all medicines using this method, especially when the vast majority of medicines are actually not temperature sensitive to the point of needing these massive refrigerated trucks. So there's no practical need to transport them in such an expensive way, yet it is necessary since there's no other way to definitively prove that their conditions have been controlled. Otherwise you're breaching the new law. So Modum solves this problem with their temperature reading RFID chips that are cheap enough to be scaled on this level. By using their proprietary chips, logistics and shipping companies can ship non-temperature sensitive medicines, which again are the majority, in cheap, non-temperature controlled methods and demonstrate that the temperature remained within allowed ranges. The pilot trials conducted with the largest last-mile logistics company in Switzerland concluded that the pharma industry can save 60% of their shipping costs with the Modum solution. In other words, the cost of using the Modum solution is 60% cheaper per shipment. That adds up very quickly. Going back to the regulations, it is difficult to imagine big pharmas and delivery services all around the EU ignoring the 60% cost reduction once Modum is ready to scale and has definitively proved their system works. Modum plans to finalize this first integration in Q4 of 2017 using the first of their series of proprietary temperature loggers. Upon successful completion, official market entry in Switzerland will begin in Q1 of 2018. Clients are already lined up. And here are some additional features that they're developing at the moment. Moisture, humidity, light, acceleration, movement. So Modum definitely deserves its own video, and I'm very excited about the prospects of it. It's targeting big pharma, and that's a lot of potential money they can tap. And it's pretty easy to root for them because their product is going to absolutely help people and make sure we're providing people with the best medicine. And that's really awesome. So definitely give Modum a look over because it's a great coin.
Modum, ensuring drug safety with blockchain technology. Our product, MOD, democratizes the sensor data of pharma logistics. The MOD is added to the package of medicinal products before it is shipped. During the delivery, it is monitoring the temperature conditions autonomously. When the receiver, a doctor for instance, accepts the package, all the data is transferred to the blockchain, where a smart contract is executed to check if the product always complied with the temperature regulations. Once in the blockchain, this data can't be changed and is publicly accessible. The result is immediately reported back to the end consumer, as well as to the distributor. The new GDP regulations require the reporting of temperature deviation to both the distributor and the recipient of the product.
So the last coin we're going to discuss today is still in its ICO phase. So you can definitely get in on this one before more people discover it because I think this is another winner. WaBi is a product focused around building a safe retail channel to combat the fake products that plague Asia. Blockchain technology is used in combination with RFID tags that guarantees that a product is real. If the seal breaks, the blockchain registers that it is no longer a genuine product. The company behind WaBi, WaLiMai, is releasing WaBi tokens on their ICO. The problem WaBi is trying to solve is about the $461 billion of fake goods that are in circulation globally. In China, there have been numerous scandals about fake food products, and that's not something you want when infants or toddlers or the elderly are concerned. The market for these products is obviously huge because people are willing to pay a premium for genuine products such as baby food and alcohol. This is where the WaBi token comes into play. Consumers use WaBi tokens to purchase WaLiMai protected items at a discount, which come with the non-reusable RFID tags that consumers can scan with their phone to validate the authenticity of the product. The WaLiMai label is applied at the designated point of origin along the supply chain. This links the product with its digital representation on the blockchain. WaBi actually already has a working product and has done trial sales already on JD.com, a Chinese website with 370 million monthly visitors. Specifically, they targeted consumers of baby food and found WaBi resulted in a vastly increased consumer satisfaction. WaBi is managed by a team that has years of experience in supply chain management and the infant food industry specifically. I think WaBi will be a very interesting project to follow, and I'm very excited to see how they can expand their model to combat counterfeiting in multiple industries.
Came from when it was scanned and all that, and on the map as well as on the list. I guess you can see it here. Now, I think we should give this label a bit of time for the adhesive to really stick, and then we'll show you that you can't really take this label off. So now we're going to show you what happens when someone tries to remove the label. When we designed it, we really tried to catch a good balance between the fragility of the label so that when someone tries to remove it, it gets destroyed. And on the other hand, the robustness of the label so that when it's transported within the logistics channel, it doesn't get damaged and it still can be scanned. So I'm going to show you what happens when someone tries to remove it. So this is what happens. The antenna gets torn. Yeah. And the scanning will not work anymore. So if someone really tried to remove this label from one product and put it on the other, it basically just wouldn't work.
All right, so let's finish off this video, and hopefully the information in this video helped you make a decision about which one sounds interesting and which ones you want to research further and possibly invest in. I want to make it clear that the only one I currently own is WaltonChain, but pretty soon here, I'm definitely going to be expanding my positions to own VeChain and Modum, with careful considerations in the future for WaBi. As I said in the beginning of this video, IoT blockchain technology is a big deal and definitely will become more so in the future. I think this is one of the best spaces in crypto to invest in right now because the areas they're targeting are ripe for disruption and a better system, and there's billions of dollars at stake here. IoT blockchain is going to change a lot, and you can be in on it just as it's getting started. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this video was helpful and made you think a little bit. If you enjoyed the video, I'd be honored if you gave it a like. And if you're new here and want to continue to see high quality crypto analysis, by all means hit that subscribe button and definitely check out my other videos too. Currently in the pipes are some of my ICO recommendations for November and some statistical analysis of the top cryptos. All right, see you guys in the next one. Peace.